Hello ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having an amazing day. In this video we're going over the pool value tier list for every premium unit in the game. Basically I haven't done this one in a long time, so I decided it's finally time for an updated one. So yeah, the way this tier list will go is basically very simple. The mass pool is going to be the tier that basically marks the units that are basically the best of the best in the game. And by pulling them, you're basically elevating your account much more than pulling any other units on the roster. High value is going to be mostly meta units that are currently among the most powerful ones when it comes to meta, but again, over time they can get out of the relevancy, but again, they are still high value and very great, almost the best picks you can make for the current meta. The good value is going to be units who are still like good enough, that are like not too bad, but also like not meta, but still very strong. Those units will be in good value when it comes to like value, right? When it comes to investing, this is basically skill investment, how much effort you need to put into learning these units, and also like how much resources you need to spend, like their signature, the teammates, and all the stuff just to make them work. And it's not really like beneficial in return as some of the other units on the roster, so that's what to investing means. The next one obviously is going to be the waste of pulls, which this one is like self-explanatory. If you pull these units, you're basically almost bricking your account because you're wasting for something that's barely giving you any performance at this point in time. And so yeah, without further ado, let's start. So first one is going to be JIYAN. In my opinion, he's too investing. For him to actually be comparable to some of the higher tiers units, he needs to be played with the full premium team. That means YUNO, who also needs to be geared up with echoes, CHIACCONA, who also needs to be geared up with echoes, and JIYAN, who needs his signature and a lot of echo grind to actually make him work. Plus, he requires dash cancelling on his Jinglong attacks to receive the highest amount of damage. With that being said, I would say JIYAN, while he's not like too bad, he can still clear decent like amount of content. It's way more struggling compared to almost a lot of other units, most of the roster. He's very old unit, and so investing into him is like way less payoff than any other DPS in the game. Mostly that's not 1.0, right? So that's for him. He's very old unit and his DPS is not as good as it used to be. That's for JIYAN. Next one is going to be YINLIN. Unfortunately, she's going to be a waste of pulls. At this point in time, everyone is just better than her, and they're like two very broken general use case sub DPSs in game. And so pulling them basically means that your YINLIN is just not needed anymore. Even the current free Rebecca is better than YINLIN, even in YINLIN's best in slot teams. So I would say YINLIN is no more like a worthy pull. She's basically, if she was given for free, she would still be questionable whether or not you would use her. So yeah, definitely not a good unit anymore. Next one is going to be JINHSI, and same as JIYAN, but unlike JIYAN, JINHSI is here because she actually requires a lot of investment. She needs her signature, she also needs CANTARELLA or ZHEZHI. Both of them are very low value in my opinion, which you will see why in a moment. And basically, JINHSI is like fine, she can barely clear, and that's not really good for a current meta. And so because of that, because of the performance fall off, she has slight potential if she gets the right teammate in the future. But based on future, we cannot really make a tier list, so objectively speaking, she's right here, and it'll stay that way until we get some changes around her kit, or maybe some better supports down the line. So that's for JINHSI. She requires a full premium teamed, premium sub DPS that also does damage. She needs to be very well built, and you need a lot of skill investment to actually clear with her to pull that off. So that's for JINHSI. She's also like weak compared to like how much investment you need to make at this point. Next one is going to be CHANGLI, and CHANGLI in my opinion is still holding off a bit better than JINHSI. I would say maybe even better than JIYAN, because a lot of the teammates that she would use are basically meta relevant, but again her personal damage is lower than almost even Encore, who is like a standard 5-star. So I would say CHANGLI, she can be played as a quick swap, she can be played with Mono Fusion. She's very good. She can also be played as a quick swap with Spectral Rover if you really want to get easy side tower clears. She's very decent, but again, her signature, her investment to her echoes, and those echo sets are no longer used on any modern teams. And so yeah, CHANGLI is no longer as good as she used to be. Now, she's still like versatile, but again, there's like so many fusion DPSs right now that she's basically no longer viable as like almost at all. So pulling her basically means you're like putting in a lot of valuable resource and pools just to get her, where you can just get way better units, and she barely performs. So yeah, that's for her. Next one is going to be ZHEZHI, and ZHEZHI is just slightly better than YINLIN, only because she can support Carlotta, but Carlotta again is not one of the best anymore. She's still good, but again, they're like, as I said for YINLIN, ZHEZHI just doesn't give damage. ZHEZHI doesn't give damage. She's good for Carlotta, but again, if you weren't there before, if you don't already have her, pulling her is like basically a waste of your resources. So I would say do not pull her. If you can, if you have like LYNAE or Rebecca, put that on Carlotta. It'll probably perform even better than using these units. So that's basically it about ZHEZHI. Her other team is basically with JINHSI, and I already told you what the JINHSI's maximal potential is. She's barely clearing first 2 floors, and let alone like she's basically not clearing last 2 floors. So yeah, ZHEZHI has the terrible options, and yeah, that's pretty much for her. Next one is going to be Zhang Liao. In my opinion, Zhang Liao might be slightly better than CHANGLI, or actually he's worse because his best team is not performing on level of Mono Fusion, but he's definitely better than JINHSI. He can be paired with a standard unit called Charo if you learn quick swapping, and he can actually perform very good with Charo. But because how much skill the quick swapping requires, I would say Zhang Liao is not worth pulling, and he also needs his weapon to keep up with Charo. He also needs you know, like you need to like optimize his rotation so it doesn't take too long. So that's pretty much it about him. He's okay. All of these units, like, they can still clear if you put a lot of effort and resources into gear, but the problem is just like every other unit on this tier, he's not like performing as well as he used to. The next one is going to be Shorekeeper, and this one is finally a must pull. This unit is basically on every single account that wants to clear endgame consistently. She can be slotted on every current team, every past team, and every future team she'll be able to be slotted on. She gives crit, damage amplification, and critical damage. She's an amazing unit, very fast rotating, and basically a staple for every single account. So glad Kuro is giving her out for new players, giving her, like, making her more accessible, because she's a very important unit and very popular in the space. So yeah, I would say she's very important to get. So yeah, get the Shorekeeper. Everyone has her, and everyone that has her is very happy. So yeah, the next unit is going to be CAMELLYA, and CAMELLYA is right here. CAMELLYA has similar thing like JINHSI. She has a big potential, but unlike JINHSI, CAMELLYA's potential is actually realistic, because she only needs a good, fast-paced basic attack damage amplification unit that rotates fast, like Lucilla, which is like the newest unit of this patch. CAMELLYA is basically a very good unit, but only if she gets a good like a teammate in the future, and it is possible, but for now she's like too investing, because you need to know double intro rotation. She can use Sanhua, which is her best in slot team is with Sanhua. And so CAMELLYA is very good with Sanhua and Verina, or like Shorekeeper instead of Verina. So yeah, honestly, CAMELLYA is very powerful still. But yeah, she's also barely clearing. But if she gets a good sub DPS in the future, which is possible for her, she can probably be good value for like good period of time. But again, just like every 1.0 unit, it's just a matter of time because before they become waste of pulls. So yeah, same goes for CAMELLYA. Next one is going to be CARLOTTA. She's still a good value. She's still doing a lot of damage with like HIYUKI as a double DPS, with ZHEZHI, with LYNAE, with Rebecca, like any like combination. You can even put BRANT as a double DPS. Like, it's very interesting that you can do decent amount of like comps with her. It's not like meta, but it's like still strong enough to like have comfortable clears. So yeah, she's definitely good right there. Like, I mean, first two floors are glacier resistant, so at the moment she's not like as good, but usually she's very good. She can clear the highest floors of middle tower, which is basically a very good value for a 2.x first 2.x unit. So that's for CARLOTTA. She's still very good, and standard weapon makes her even more budget. Next one is going to be ROCCIA, and this one is worse than YINLIN. I would say ROCCIA is worse than YINLIN. Yes, ROCCIA has grouping for Whimpering Waste, but unlike YINLIN, ROCCIA's options are very terrible. I mean, you can put her with Havoc Rover, which is fine, but ROCCIA is taking longer fill time than even someone like YINLIN, which is terrible because ROCCIA is a sub DPS. She doesn't really do that much damage even when fully built, but you need to fully build her, get a weapon, and yeah, you need CAMELLYA as her best in slot team. Or maybe like PHROLOVA, where PHROLOVA has way better teammates right now on when it comes to her meta team, and she doesn't even need the best in slots. So basically ROCCIA's only use case is basically one of the best must skip units in a game. So definitely do not pull this unit if you don't want to brick your account, because she has no use case, and the only one who would basically use her, like PHROLOVA can basically be used with Spectral Rover and Verina on your team, and you're still clearing. So yeah, PHROLOVA can be used with any DPS in a game, because how her kit is designed. And so ROCCIA is just unnecessary unit in the game right now, unless she gets buffed, but I doubt it. So that's for ROCCIA. Next one is going to be PHEOBE, and I would say PHEOBE is just I tried to play her as a DPS. I don't really think her signature will give that much better performance. Yeah, PHEOBE, she's gone. She's, I mean, her DPS, I would say her here, right? Actually, she might be here. When it comes to DPS PHEOBE, she's not like, when it comes to teammates, she's not too investing, but a Spectral Rover basically means you're not using other rovers on your endgame. When it comes to other rovers, you want to use Air Rover with CARTETHYA, or you want to use Havoc Rover as a main DPS to have like two teams to actually clear. If you use a rover anywhere else, you can play PHEOBE main DPS. So that's basically PHEOBE's issue. Now, the next thing is that she needs a rectifier, and standard rectifier is very bad. So yeah, she needs her weapon, otherwise she's performing very mid, if not even like worse. And yeah, you can do some quick swaps, but again, honestly, it's not worth it anymore. She's a rectifier that's even worse than any other weapon class, because there's no budget option that's good. Yeah, PHEOBE is just right there because, yeah, too much investment for teammates, where Rover will soon have Electro version. Electro version will be used in a new meta team that's coming out in Mengzhou Arc. So yeah, PHEOBE is just goner. She's too expensive to build at the moment, and too much, I mean, at the moment for going forward. And so yeah, that's for her. Next one is going to be BRANT, and just like CARLOTTA, I would say BRANT is slightly better than CARLOTTA, even though he requires his signature if you want like maximum performance, and he requires a very powerful echo build. Now, when you do all of that, the payoff is actually very good. Even today, he released in 2.1, or yeah, 2.1 phase 2. I think that's when he released. He's still very good unit. I don't really have him on my account, but I saw performance from other people. He, with Sanhua, can still clear middle tower. I'm like shocked. In a mono fusion, he just shreds. So he's very powerful. He's almost high value, but they're like obviously way better units at this point. But again, he's good value. He'll probably be high value if he wasn't so expensive to build. but he needs a weapon. He's a very good investment into gear. So yeah, he's here, but he's definitely like giving more versatility than someone like Carlotta. They can buff fusion, resin skill. He can get buffed by basic attack amplifier like Sanhua. Maybe even someone like LYNAE, Rebecca. He's very versatile, and moving forward he can only be like, he'll still be strong as long as there's a monofusion meta. And honestly, in the meta, monofusion is still there, so Brant will still be very strong as long as there's LUPA. So with that being said, Brant is still very good. Next one is going to be Cantarella, and Cantarella is bro, like Cantarella, bro, what are we doing? Cantarella is maybe like next to Phoebe, like I don't even care, like somewhere here. Cantarella, in my opinion, after Lucilla's release, Lucilla, QIUYUAN, PHROLOVA is the best PHROLOVA team. So Cantarella is no longer in PHROLOVA's meta team. Now she's like second best in slot, which is still cool, but her damage just doesn't make up for compared to like Lucilla. Lucilla does more damage, is more consistent, faster, where Cantarella requires some learning, so you don't get interrupted too much. She's very interruptible, and yeah, her echo set is not as good as Lucilla's. And yeah, I would just say if you get Lucilla, there's way better options, and if you get QIUYUAN, also a lot of options for teams and meta teams, basically meta teams, not just any options. And so getting Cantarella is a waste of pulls in my opinion, but again, if you get her, PHROLOVA can still appreciate it. PHROLOVA, Cantarella, Shorekeeper is still a strong team, don't get me wrong. But again, because PHROLOVA is among the most versatile units in the entire game, Cantarella, units like Cantarella are not really needed for PHROLOVA to perform, still to this day, which is crazy. So Cantarella is fine, but again, too much investment in my opinion, compared to like what value she brings. There's only like JINHSI, Havoc Rover, which that performance doesn't really cut it. Then with PHROLOVA, which doesn't really need her necessarily. So yeah, Cantarella is like unnecessary, feels like unnecessary at the moment. Maybe she'll get better with time, who knows, but for now she's slightly falling off every patch. Next one is going to be ZANI, and I'm gonna be real, bro, like it's less expensive to build Phoebe than ZANI, bro. Here's the thing, for ZANI you need Phoebe, and Phoebe has two modes, DPS mode and sub DPS mode. Sub DPS mode Phoebe is a must, otherwise your ZANI does no damage. And here's why. ZANI requires frazzle stacks, and Phoebe gives a lot of frazzle stacks. ZANI converts that, gives you forte, and that forte, as much forte as you have, that's how long you can deal a DPS. So in short, she's incredibly brick for your account. Yeah, she can do some good damage when you like learn her, but to learn her you need to spend a lot of time and effort. You need to min-max her build on echoes. You need almost need her premium weapon at this point to keep up with the meta unit, bro. And she also requires either Spectral Rover, Verina, or stuff like, bro, like what? Even CHISA doesn't work properly on this team because she converts those stacks immediately, so ZANI doesn't even get to use CHISA's buffs from CHISA's weapon, so that's very terrible in my opinion. But yeah, ZANI is still, she can still clear, but the problem is you need to get a long way with ZANI to actually, you need to master this unit like on a high level, with the resources and with like a weapon and with like a gameplay, like, and she can only be with Phoebe. There's no like budget option, no, like a Spectral Rover, sure, but again, Rover can be used on many other many other teams, and Electro Rover will be meta relevant. So yeah, I'm not using Spectral Rover if I can use Electro Rover. So any team that requires Spectral Rover is basically a waste of pulls, almost. But again, she's not like a waste of pulls because you can still make her work, but it requires a lot of investing. The next one is going to be CHACCONA. CHACCONA, in my opinion, is still good value, but the reason why she's not here where she used to be is because her weapon becomes more and more priority. For her to actually stand out compared to like Rebecca and LYNAE, who are completely general and universal. CHACCONA is very specialized for aero teams. So when it comes to like YUNO and JIYAN, she can help those units. When it comes to something like SIGRIKA, she's like alternative, very good alternative option. Any future aero DPS can make use of CHACCONA, but again, CHACCONA will not perform as good as their best in slot, obvious. CHACCONA requires decent amount of skill expression, not too much, but you need to like jump. You need to like jump and then do basic attack to actually speed up her rotation. So that's for CHACCONA. She's like decent, but her best in slot DPS is no longer as valuable as she used to be. So yeah, speaking of CHACCONA, she's good value still, but again, I don't advise pulling her unless you have a good reason to, like a lot of aero DPSs that don't have the best in slot. Next one is going to be CARTETHYA. CARTETHYA is basically almost like ZANI, but slightly better because she can almost like solo content, because her kit doesn't need another unit to actually function, but she needs CHACCONA to actually function on competitive level. And you might say, okay, so she needs another unit, she's not completely dependent on the unit, so what's the problem? Here's the problem: she's a HP scaler when it comes to like DPS. She scales of HP, and guess who she needs on the third slot? Aero Rover. And here's another catch: Aero Rover is not used on any other team in a meta besides CARTETHYA. And so you will build entirely new talents, spend a lot of resources, and on a weapon of Aero Rover that's not even needed if you don't use Aero Rover, just to buff a unit that needs another best in slot, and then you need to build CHACCONA, build CARTETHYA. On top of that, she cannot be buffed from Rejuvenating Glow set, which means her team is basically limited, almost restricted to only CHACCONA, Aero Rover, even Sanhua. What is Sanhua doing with Moonlight Cloud? CARTETHYA benefits from no attack percentage buff. If you buff her attack, she basically gets no benefits. She's an HP scaler, more HP, more damage. And what she also has is basically she's reliant heavily on her signature, because that's the only weapon that will actually make her scale correctly with her, basically with her damage. Any other weapon like Emerald of Genesis will easily like make a huge gap between her signature and that Emerald of Genesis. So yeah, that's why she's a very bad value. You get her, you basically need to extract a lot of resources, focus just on her to actually make her work. And honestly, CHACCONA is not really like a best in slot anywhere else. So you basically pull unit who requires CHACCONA, and then CHACCONA is not really as good anywhere else because there's just better units to pull. And yeah, similar to ZANI, is like heavily on investment, while ZANI is not completely Sig reliant. CARTETHYA is definitely Sig reliant, yeah, she used to be able to solo, but with HP inflation she's no longer able to. I'm not talking about sequences, I'm talking about every single unit at S0, what they can offer. So this is what this ranking is all about. So her value, in my opinion, is too investing. Skip her. If you're free-to-play player, this is not a unit for you. Let's go for the next one, which is LUPA. If you're free-to-play player, you will have a lot of mileage from this unit. So LUPA, she's amazing. She's probably the best fusion unit still, in my opinion, in entire Wuthering Waves history. LUPA is just amazing. Thanks to her, fusion, mono fusion comps are possible. So basically, LUPA buffs entire fusion team. When you have a mono fusion team, 3 fusion units, you get resistance ignore for fusion damage on bosses, which completely negates the last 2 floors of the middle tower that always have that stupid annoying debuff of 15% resistance increase. She basically decreases back that debuff. She basically removes the debuff just from playing her in your mono fusion team. That's how broken she is. Then she gives you a high attack percentage increase, like 35, I think, percent damage, fusion damage bonus to entire team, and basic attack and fusion damage amplification with her outro skill. Plus, her weapon gives another 24% damage bonus, and she does decent amount of personal damage as well in the team. Next thing, she also rotates pretty fast, and she buffing basic attack and fusion, someone like Anchor who can still perform very well even on middle tower with a LUPA. LUPA just has a lot of budget value, And budget Broadblade, the new from 3.0, is very good on LUPA because LUPA doesn't need her signature and she still crashes the middle tower even to this day. Every single one of her teammates and basically teams that you can make with LUPA, just they destroy the content. I can't believe Kuro actually made a unit like LUPA. If you're not playing the last two middle floors, bro, first two middle floors, they're getting shredded by the existence of LUPA on your team. That's how strong she is. So that's LUPA. She's definitely broken still to this day. And yeah, she can be slotted with CHANGLI, with BRANT, someone like Encore, Denya, AEMEATH, future JINHSI. JINHSI is supposed to be like another fusion unit. GALBRENA, who else? Yeah, anyone. So anyone you can think of, like something like LUPA, Mortefi, and JINHSI will actually be possible. So that's another like more on like a budget team option that you can use. So she's incredible value, and someone like a MORNYE makes her even better because MORNYE is like very cheap to build and very powerful like support. And with LUPA you can just slot any like Encore with MORNYE and LUPA, that just clears easily if your Encore is very well built. So that's how powerful this unit is. She has so many powerful teams, and she's still a great value for every account, in my opinion. So just make sure to like secure her if you can, if you have everyone else. She's amazing pool value. So that's for LUPA, in my opinion. Next, let's go for the PHROLOVA, and she's definitely a must pull. I can't believe that PHROLOVA, even though she needs her signature, that's only thing she actually needs, unless you have a String Master, which is available for new players at the beginning banner. So PHROLOVA, basically, she's a very powerful unit. She can clear Whimpering Waste, probably at the highest performance than any other unit in the game, and she's still very valuable. She's very budget. She can be played with any other DPS in Tower of Adversity, Instant Matrix. If you like missing a Galbrena's teammate, just put PHROLOVA and you're good to go. Any DPS like LUUK, HERSSEN, AEMEATH, HIYUKI, SIGRIKA, anyone, YUNO, AUGUSTA, you can just put your PHROLOVA and you're good to go. She's amazing double DPS partner, and like she's still amazing, incredibly powerful unit. She deserves the S spot on the tier list. I'm still trying to see when she's starting to fall off, but her damage is still very high. And so yeah, the next one is going to be AUGUSTA, and AUGUSTA is almost high value, but with performance of other meta unit, she's going to be here. AUGUSTA is very limited hyper carry main DPS. Now she can also be played as a double DPS, as a double DPS partner like PHROLOVA, because of her amplification on Ultra skill, 50% all attribute amplification. Now her rotation is very strict. You need a lot of skill. I mean, a lot of skill. You actually need this amount of skill to learn her, and when it comes to budget, she's pretty budget. And she can use someone like Mortefi to clear side towers with ease, maybe even a middle tower if you put some good effort. Standard weapon can work on her, but her one weapon or JIYAN signature is one-to-one with her signature. She can still work. If you have JIYAN signature, you just put it on her, and it's basically like having her signature, very powerful and strong, and she just shreds the content when you have a YUNO, her best in slot, or maybe someone like Rebecca, maybe LYNAE. She's still an amazing unit, so if you pull her, you can easily clear content regardless. So good value is usually units that are like either like fan favorite, and like if you like these units, pulling them is not like a bad deal. They're still good, so they can still perform very well. To investing, these are units that if you pull, you need to invest too much compared to like what you gain. So yeah, these units are going to be giving you a much more even if you pull them right now. So yeah, that's AUGUSTA. Let's go for YUNO, and YUNO is basically similar thing. YUNO can buff heavy attackers, which is good, but there's also many other like Mortefi, Rebecca, LYNAE. So there's many like sub DPSs that can do the same exact thing as LYNAE, where LYNAE does more damage than them, but again, like that requires her to be built. And as a main DPS, the only real option is basically with LYNAE or maybe even Rebecca, right? Junshin is just not gonna cut it. She's completely weak, and her ultra skill alone just doesn't make up for like the damage. So honestly, for YUNO, because she scales of liberation type of damage, she's not really that good in current meta, but she's definitely dealing a lot of damage when you invest into her team. So she's performing very well still to this day, but not as good as she used to be. Next one is going to be GALBRENA, another one that basically this one is almost like Augusta. She's good. Definitely GALBRENA is definitely good. I still use her in Tower of Adversity from time to time. Even Instant Matrix are one of my favorite units. She can use standard pistol, which is the strongest standard weapon in the game, phasing homogenizer, and she can make a very good use of it because she's a heavy attacker and echo skill DPS at the same time. She can use Mortefi to clear side towers, and for middle tower you need someone like either YUNO, Rebecca, LYNAE, or her best in slot QIUYUAN or Lucilla. So yeah, that's basically how she works. Now she's also fusion DPS, so she can work with LUPA and MORNYE, so you can do that as well. So yeah, honestly, GALBRENA is just amazing. If you like her, pull her and she's good to go. Like her, she's not even Sigrid Land, so that's like how good she is. So yeah, she like every other unit on this tier, she's very good still to this day. Next one is going to be QIUYUAN. QIUYUAN, in my opinion, as time goes on, he raised in value. There is more and more meta relevant echo skill DPSs. GALBRENA is amazingly strong with QIUYUAN, and someone like PHROLOVA just becomes unfair and broken with someone like QIUYUAN on the team, because he buffs echo skill damage team-wide, and his ultra skill also buffs echo skill damage. The next one basically that he buffs is going to be SIGRIKA, which is currently among the most powerful DPSs in the game, funny enough. But yeah, he supports the best DPS, I mean, almost the best DPS in the entire game. So yeah, he's going to be amazing, and there are like other like very powerful options he can support. So that's for QIUYUAN. Next one is going to be CHISA. I didn't know CHISA is this good, but she actually deserves high value tier. The reason why is because over the past time where everyone was not really focused on her, she's been slowly climbing the ladder. So she can basically work with CARTETHYA, she's the best support for CARTETHYA, AEMEATH, and HIYUKI now. And those, all of them are very powerful. If you have CARTETHYA and CHIACCONA from before, CHISA will just make them very strong. HIYUKI or AEMEATH, you put CHISA on, they're like at their best potential. Like literally at full power, completely. And you can use your Shorekeeper and Verina on other teams. So that's very powerful because now your CHISA is basically like Shorekeeper for negative status teams. Very powerful, very strong, and very versatile because there's so many meta options that you can use CHISA on. So that's basically for CHISA. She's very good. She's a bit Sigrid Land because her signature is giving another 24% damage bonus to the entire team that's negative status. So that's good for her. Next one is going to be LYNAE, and this one is actually very important because this is the S tier unit. She's a must pull. And the reason she's a must pull is because she can hold standard static mist weapon and still perform very well. She's basically like Shorekeeper is a universal support. LYNAE is a universal sub DPS. She gives a lot of amplification, she gives a lot of damage bonus, attack increase, and a decent amount of damage for a sub DPS. So yeah, very good unit, and moving forward she's going to be among the most important unit for the meta and for overall use case for any account. So LYNAE is going to be another must pull level of value unit that you can pull on your account and expect amazing results. Even Havoc Rover seems like a monster with someone like LYNAE on the team. So Spectral Rover, I'm using Spectral Rover on like a middle tower, and I'm like, bro, what am I playing? Like it's literally that good. So yeah, that's for LYNAE. Next one is going to be MORNYE. MORNYE is basically similar to CHISA, but I would say even better. I told you I'm basically rating this on S0, but at S0 she's still here. She can work with LUPA, she works with LYNAE, which is almost basically a must pull. So if you pair MORNYE with LYNAE, you're basically giving more buffs to any DPS that LYNAE and MORNYE are supporting that Shorekeeper can buff compared to MORNYE. So if you put LYNAE and Shorekeeper, MORNYE will outperform Shorekeeper with LYNAE. and that's because their kit synergizes. If you have S1 of Mornye, Mornye doesn't need LYNAE to apply her full kit buffs, which is 40% damage increase for the enemy. Like, enemy gets 40% more damage taken from your team, and 25% amplification. That's more than enough to outperform a Shorekeeper in any team if you have S1 Mornye. So S1 Mornye is better than S1 Shorekeeper on any team. Makes her the best support. But without that, even at S0, she's still very good for most of the teams. If you play AEMEATH or LUUK HERSSEN, Mornye doesn't need LYNAE specifically to actually work. Mornye also works with Denya, she also works with LYNAE, LUPA again for monofusion. So yeah, Mornye has a lot of use case, a very meta use case, and so yeah, she's definitely high value unit, but not as much as some of the other ones or closer to the top. So yeah, that's for Mornye. Next one is going to be AEMEATH. AEMEATH is going to be another unit that's a very high value, and the reason why, because she's a meta unit, and as a meta unit, as a meta DPS that does a lot of damage, AEMEATH with LYNAE does a lot of damage. AEMEATH with someone like you can put even Sanhua, or like, yeah, even Sanhua, and she still performs very well. Monofusion, she performs amazingly. With Denya, she performs like a god in Whimpering Waste and in Tower of Adversity, so she has multiple use cases and she's very powerful unit overall. I mean, among the top meta DPSs, so you can't go wrong pulling AEMEATH. So that's for her. Next one is LUUK HERSSEN. LUUK HERSSEN is a very budget main DPS, but in my opinion, to actually get a satisfying performance, you need either Denya, LYNAE, or someone like Mornye on a team to actually get the full performance. His signature is not needed because the new standard gauntlet is actually made basically for his kit. So I would say he's very good for someone like who's actually struggling when it comes to like budget. He's very budget with Sanhua and Verina, or Shorekeeper instead of Verina. He's very powerful still, so no problem there. So yeah, he's still pretty much on the pair with AEMEATH when it comes to meta because of Denya. So yeah, that's good to keep in mind. Next one is going to be SIGRIKA. SIGRIKA is also another powerful DPS. Again, like, these are like meta DPS units, and building their teams basically means that you're building a very powerful team that's gonna carry you for a long time. SIGRIKA has a lot of teammates. She has CHACCONA that works very well. She has someone like QIUYUAN and Lucilla who are supporting multiple high level performative units in a game. So yeah, SIGRIKA has a lot of options, and she's almost the most powerful DPS in a game. So that's worth keeping in mind. You're definitely not going wrong with getting SIGRIKA. Even someone like Alto might be enough to actually put SIGRIKA on a good level to clear first 2 floors of middle tower. The next one is going to be HIYUKI. HIYUKI, in my opinion, is very good. She's similar to like CARTETHYA, ZANI situation when it comes to AEMEATH and HIYUKI. HIYUKI is basically Glacier Chief negative status DPS, similar to AEMEATH being like Tune Rupture and Fusion Burst. But HIYUKI is basically more centered about herself. She's a sword, so standard weapon works. She can also be used with Spectral Rover, even though they have no synergy, like special synergy, and clear side towers, no problem. Even a middle tower if it's not glacier resistant. So yeah, on a very budget, she can perform very well. But if you invest into her team, what can you actually do? LYNAE, Rebecca, can elevate her damage even more, and you can perform very powerfully. When you use someone like Lucilla, who is a very powerful sub DPS at the moment, she goes at the maximum potential, which is on the team as well. HIYUKI just almost probably the best DPS in the game, if you ask me, even for Whimpering Waste. So I'm gonna be real, she's an amazing unit, and definitely a good catch if you want. You'll have amazing unit for a long time. And so yeah, that's for HIYUKI. Next one is going to be Denya, and Denya, in my opinion, is good value, and it's pretty simple. She's good value because of 2 reasons: LUUK HERSSEN and AEMEATH. They have multiple teammates. It's not just they need this one specific unit. Now she might be going here because soon we're rumored that one of the new units that are upcoming is going to be Arrow Tune Strain DPS, and this is what Denya supports. She supports Fusion Burst and Tune Strain main DPSs, and currently such units are AEMEATH and LUUK HERSSEN. So Denya doesn't really have many like units. You can play her like Mono Fusion, but it's like any other Mono Fusion combination is way better than any with Denya. So Denya is okay, but again, not enough team options to actually be high value. So that's that. Next one is going to be Lucilla, and Lucilla in my opinion is probably slightly better than Chuyan. And here's the thing, Chuyan might be more budget on a weapon, but Lucilla has one more teammate than Chuyan. Same amount of buffs and more usage. So basically she's the best in slot support, basically sub DPS for HIYUKI. And HIYUKI, as I said, with Lucilla just becomes the monster of the DPS. So Lucilla is very amazing with there. She's also echo skill damage buffer as well in a second mode, which means PHROLOVA appreciates her, SIGRIKA and GALBRENA. So same units that Chuyan supports, Lucilla can support as well. Lucilla uses Rectifier, but she rotates faster than someone like Chuyan, so I would say Lucilla is still a very good option regardless of her weapon. If you can use String Master, you're good to go. So yeah, that's for Lucilla. Next one is Rebecca, and this one is a must pull. She's a free unit, and as a free unit, in my opinion, she's a must pull. I mean, must pull, she's a must pick, because if you log in right now, you're getting free copy of Rebecca, and guess what? Her best in slot is the most valuable DPS in the game. She's also very versatile, just like LYNAE when it comes to sub DPS, very general buffs, and for what she does off field as a damage, she's doing even more reaction to turn break damage than LYNAE. So that's very powerful. And on top of that, she does this amount of damage herself. She can use Moonlight Clouds, Static Mist, and yeah, she's completely free. So there's no other more valuable unit in the game than her, because she's literally free, and you almost get exact same unit as LYNAE. So now you have like two LYNAEs, one LYNAE, original one, and second one, which is like LYNAE wannabe, but is like maybe like 2-3% worse than LYNAE on every team. She's supporting more heavy attack units when LYNAE supports more liberation attack units. So yeah, that's basically what Rebecca is. She's amazing and free. So yeah, get her, like she's amazing unit for every account regardless. Next one is going to be Lucy, in my opinion, another must pull. The reason why is because her best in slot. She's the first unit in the entire game in history of Wuthering Waves that her best in slot is free. Literally free. Like, you pull her, she does a lot of damage with Mortefi, with like YUNO or like PHROLOVA, but you put Rebecca, who's literally free, with Lucy on her set, plus standard homogenizer like gun for DPS and static mist on Rebecca. Bro, Lucy's like menace. Like, Lucy's like among the top DPSs when it comes to like, and she's incredibly budget. Like, she's in, like, you pull her, that's it. You don't need her weapon, you don't need the Rebecca's weapon. Rebecca is free, so her best premium sub DPS is free. Bro, like, what are you waiting? Go ahead and pull Lucy right now, and you have like amazing value for your account. So that's Lucy, in my opinion. She's amazing. These collab characters are very important right now to get, because after the 3.4 is over, they're no longer available, and they will never come back most likely, because collabs usually last only once and they never come back usually. So do not miss your chance. Secure Lucy, and basically Rebecca is free, so you just claim her, and standard weapons are all you need to actually excel at damage with Lucy. So yeah, not even Secret Land, and very powerful for almost completely free. Yeah, take it while you can. So yeah, that's for her. Next one is going to be for 3.5, and for 3.5, YANGYANG is obviously going to be at the top. YANGYANG, in my opinion, is going to be at the top for a very simple reason. She's a Havoc, heavy attack, DPS. With heavy attack and being a new unit, she does a lot of damage, so Someone like Mortefi will be more than enough for middle tower. She will also be shield on middle tower, so yeah, she's the most valuable pick on the next banner alongside LYNAE. And yeah, like with someone like PHROLOVA, who's a heavy attack slash havoc amplification on outro skill, yeah, someone like YANGYANG can already probably perform a meta level with PHROLOVA, and PHROLOVA is already like almost a must pull. So not gonna lie, YANGYANG is almost as close to must pull as it gets for a main DPS. So yeah, I'm gonna be real. YANGYANG is going to be amazing. She also makes CHISA even better. So yeah, I can't wait for YANGYANG. She's going to be amazing. The next one is going to be SUI. I'll give SUI high value, but at the bottom, because we don't really know for 100% how good the SUI will actually be compared to someone like CHISA. There's like a rumor that she will outperform CHISA, but I doubt it. If she's universal buffer, she's going here, right? But if she's not, she's staying here. And she's basically supposed to be support for Glacier Chafe team. So that's pretty much what it is. So she's good there. And so yeah, that's SUI. She's a support for Glacier Chafe. She might be very good, but she might be very restrictive as well. So that's for her. The next one that's very much known what his kit will do. He's going to be hybrid the main DPS. He will scale up HP, which means the high investment. He will also use, we don't know what weapon he will use, but from his Sonata set we know he's a heavy attacker. So another heavy attacker with Mortefi and LUPA, you already have an amazing team synergy right there. And honestly, with Mortefi alone and Verena, he might still perform very powerfully on endgame. So yeah, not gonna lie, it just remains to be waiting for 3.6, but that's like far away from now. The next one is going to be the Arrow Lady, in my opinion, which is going to be like good value. But I mean, maybe slightly worse than Jingrang, because she might scale up Liberation, and the reason why is because her Sonata set complements Tune Strain exploit. And she will probably have the Tune Strain because her Sonata set basically mentions Tune Strain being buffing basically the unit. And LYNAE basically has a Tune Rupture and Tune Strain mode. So LYNAE can be the new best in slot for this character, this blue lady. And if that's the true, then because LYNAE fully buffs Liberation characters, this lady most likely will be a Liberation scaling unit, and that's the case similar to YUNO. Not many budget options, and so yeah, while she might be a very meta unit, Denya and LYNAE might be the best in slot for her, but yeah, she might be at the bottom here for now until we see for her full kit. So that's my prediction for now. The next one it will be XIN. She can potentially be the most valuable unit in the game, but she is going to be after YANGYANG for now. She is rumored most likely is going to be that Electro DPS we are waiting for Electro Flare, and because Electro Rover is coming in the next version, in 3.5 we're getting Electro Rover inflicting Electro Flare, and we already have 4-star support called Bullying, who also buffs the Resonance skill, so that can also be a hint on what the damage type the XIN will be. She'll probably be a Resonance skill, and if she's a Broadblade, then if you have JINHSI's weapon, if you're a veteran, you have a JINHSI signature, you don't have to pull a XIN signature weapon, you can use JINHSI's signature weapon on Shin. So yeah, XIN will use most likely the signature weapon Broadblade, because that's how she seems like a Broadblade user, but maybe she's a sword, if whatever, right? But again, whatever she is, we don't really know exactly her weapon, but we do know that she will most likely be Electro Flare DPS, which will make her incredibly budget, because her best in slot team on release, right, will be Electro Rover and Bullying, and it cannot get more budget than that. It's like literally free unit from the start of the game, and a 4-star that can drop at any 10 pull on weapon or any character banner 10 pull. So that's pretty powerful. The other lady, we don't really know much about her, so I will like leave it there. But yeah, this is pretty much my pull value tier list. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this pool value. Do you think I nailed it, or do you think you will change something on this list down there? I know I might. This is basically my prediction on these newer characters. For YANGYANG, I'm 100% sure she's up here. For like someone like Sui, I'm skeptical. Jingrang, yeah, whatever. And this Sky Lady is cool. Sin, if it's correct that she's Electro Flare, she's probably going to be on this level on release. But yeah, that's pretty much for me. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this tier list. And if you like this type of content, make sure to like, subscribe for more content like this, and make sure to check my other videos on the channel, like gameplay showcases and other pool guides that I like to do, because this is basically type of content that I do on this channel. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to stay tuned for more content moving forward. And yeah, see you in the next video. Peace out.